So fairly recently, Tiny Tina's Wonderland came out, and I played and beat the game fairly quickly. I felt like I was going at a fairly slow pace, waiting for most of the dialogue to finish, letting the cutscenes play through, without mashing 25 buttons at the same time. However, the game still felt short. Well, relatively. It took me about 2 days of playing the game to complete it, and although I haven't 100%ed it or maxed out my... what's it called? I forgot. Anyway, the game to me felt really short compared to the others. And so it got me wondering, why do games feel like they're getting shorter and shorter? Once again, to me. Maybe I just play a little bit faster than others, or maybe my perception of time is just screwed and I'm really just playing at a normal speed and then remember it being faster than I actually am, which is completely possible, which is worrying. It's fine. So, to begin with, let's start it off with the first game in the series, Borderlands 1, or just Borderlands. Oh, and before I forget to mention, this is all using the base games. No DLC involved, just the main storyline. No DLC. No dome. No other DLC names. The first entry into the series, on average, depending on where you get your information from, it comes to about 22 and a half hours. Not bad. Just under a day's worth of gameplay if you focus on the main story, and maybe the first and last time was pretty close to the estimated time. My first playthrough of the game took around 21 hours to complete. While I did do a fair bit of side missions when I played, the movement back then was a little bit lacking, so that's why I feel like made the game a bit longer. Next up, going up the timeline, is Borderlands the pre-sequel. Personally, the game I like the least. The game takes around 18 hours according to some sources, and surprisingly, once I went back to check my save that I had from some time ago, I had played through the game in just under 18 hours, somewhere around the 1750 mark. The movement in the game was a lot better than the first installment, but the story felt a lot shorter. But it makes sense because it was a flashback / origin story to how Jack got the marker in his face. Without further ado, moving on. So, moving on to Borderlands 2. The first time I picked up the game, it was fun, and even to this day, it's fun. Maybe a little bit lackluster compared to what we have today, but still a great time. According to the sources I use, Borderlands 2 takes around 30 hours to complete, a fair chunk of time. Additionally, if you would like to 100% the game, it is said you will be playing for around 125 hours, but some people have completed it in less. Compared to the first two games that were talked about, Borderlands 2 was definitely felt longer than them. However, I did manage to complete the game within around 28 hours, which isn't super fast, but still 2 whole hours compared to what the estimate time on the rest would take. But whatever the case, moving on to Tales of the Borderlands. The one Borderlands game I didn't play because it's point and click. I like mayhem. So no. While I don't have much to say about Tales of the Borderlands, it was an interesting game in terms of the story, and yeah, that's it, in my opinion. It was a point and click game, so I decided to stray away from it, but it is said to have taken 10 hours to complete and 11 hours to 100%. How does a point and click game take 11 hours to 100% when the original time is 10? Don't ask me. Now moving on to what is currently my favorite installation to the Borderlands series, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a shorter game overall, but it's something to hold Borderlands fans over to the announcement of the next mainline Borderlands game. At least that's what I'm assuming. Very short. Like me. It takes around 12 hours to complete and around 36 hours to 100%. Now, I don't think these numbers are 100% accurate, but then again, this is a shorter game. I took around 11 to 10 hours, give or take, to complete the game. But I did have to start over and switch from my computer to console because it's easier for me to play with my hands. Chastise me, if you will. Overall, however, it is a great game. And now to end off talking about the Borderlands game, we have the final installment of the main series, Borderlands 3. lot of movement and change that games overall. This game is a lot of fun and I enjoyed playing it the whole way through. This game takes around 22 and a half hours to complete if you're focusing only on the main story, and a whopping 70 hours to 100%. Once again, according to my sources. And in my first playthrough, I finished this hour in just over 16 hours, which is interesting to say the least. But the reason I think this is because the movement in this game is a lot better compared to Borderlands 1, 2, Tales, Tales 1, 2, and so overall, in my opinion, games aren't really getting shorter, but in some cases they are. But the movement in those games, well, in Borderlands case, is making the games go by a lot faster. So, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, and go tell you to subscribe. Shit's trash.